The human heart is a complex landscape, driven by emotions that often defy logic. While attraction might spark initial interest, obsession represents a deeper, more profound connection, a state where thoughts and feelings are consumed by another person. This isn't about manipulative tactics or fleeting infatuations, it's about understanding the intricate psychology that fuels genuine, unwavering interest. In this exploration, we'll delve into a series of strategic approaches, grounded in psychological principles, that can cultivate a deep sense of fascination and longing. It's important to approach these methods with careful consideration and ethical awareness, recognizing that the ultimate goal is to foster a healthy and fulfilling connection, not to control or manipulate another person's feelings. The journey to capturing someone's unwavering attention is a delicate dance, requiring a blend of confidence, empathy, and a genuine understanding of human psychology. Body, unveiling the psychological playbook. Obsession isn't about superficial charm or fleeting moments of attraction. It's a meticulously crafted tapestry woven from anticipation, emotional engagement, and the consistent desire for more. This approach isn't for the faint of heart, it demands self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and a willingness to understand the nuances of human connection. If you're prepared to unlock the secrets to capturing her unwavering attention, while remaining true to yourself and respecting her autonomy, then delve into the following strategies. But be warned, once you embark on this path, there's no turning back. 1. Harness the power of mystery, the allure of the unsolved puzzle. Curiosity is a fundamental human drive, a primal urge to explore the unknown and unravel the unexplained. When someone cannot fully decipher you, their mind becomes captivated, constantly returning to the enigma you present, much like an unsolved puzzle demanding resolution. This isn't about being deliberately evasive or dishonest, but about mastering the art of selective disclosure, being open and engaging while still retaining an element of mystery. The key lies in sharing just enough to pique her interest, to offer tantalizing glimpses into your life and your thoughts, while consciously withholding complete information. This creates a sense of intrigue, a desire to delve deeper and uncover the hidden layers of your personality. The less she knows, the more her mind will wander, conjuring possibilities and filling in the gaps with her own imagination. This continuous mental engagement, driven by curiosity, transforms you into a source of constant fascination. Humans are fundamentally hardwired to seek answers and achieve closure. By intentionally leaving gaps in the information you provide, you are creating a psychological itch that she cannot resist scratching. It's the irresistible allure of the unknown, the innate desire to complete the picture and understand the whole story. For example, consider a passion or hobby that you only hint at, never fully revealing the details. Perhaps you mention that you disappear every weekend for a particular activity, but you remain deliberately vague about its nature. I have this thing I do on weekends, it's pretty intense, you might say, leaving her to speculate about the specifics. This lack of information will ignite her curiosity, prompting her to imagine the possibilities. Is it an adventurous outdoor pursuit? A hidden artistic talent? A unique skill that sets you apart? The more she contemplates the possibilities, the more she thinks about you. She becomes increasingly drawn to the idea of unraveling your mystery, of gaining access to this hidden world that seems so intriguing and captivating. This curiosity will keep her hooked, perpetually eager to learn more and to become a part of your life. The power of mystery isn't about deception, it's about inviting her to participate in the discovery of who you are, layer by layer, creating a bond built on shared exploration and genuine fascination. It's about carefully revealing pieces of yourself over time, ensuring that there's always something new to uncover, a new layer of intrigue to explore. 2. Emotional roller coasters, the addictive power of highs and lows. The human brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. However, it's often the contrast between these two extremes that creates the most powerful and lasting emotional impact. People become addicted to the emotional highs and lows, particularly within the context of romantic relationships. This explains why some individuals remain fixated on partners who don't consistently treat them well. The intermittent moments of affection and validation create a powerful, albeit unhealthy, addiction. It's crucial to emphasize that this isn't about advocating for toxic behavior or intentionally inflicting emotional pain. Instead, it's about strategically creating moments of emotional intensity, both positive and negative, to keep her emotionally engaged and invested. The key is balance. Avoid associating yourself solely with stress or frustration, as this will ultimately lead to resentment and detachment. Instead, carefully orchestrate moments of emotional conflict, followed by displays of sweetness, vulnerability, or affection. This creates a dynamic emotional payoff that is far more rewarding and memorable. Engage in playful debates about topics that ignite her passion, gently provoking her and challenging her perspectives. But just as the debate reaches a peak, pivot to a more vulnerable or intimate topic, sharing a personal story or revealing a deeply held belief. This sudden shift from conflict to vulnerability creates emotional waves that keep her engaged and connected to you. The contrast is key, amplifying the impact of both the positive and negative emotions. Scientific studies have shown that the brain responds to emotional roller coasters in a similar way to addictive substances. The fluctuations in emotions trigger the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. These dopamine spikes create a physiological response that makes her more likely to become fixated on the source of that emotional thrill, you. Consider a scenario where you engage in a playful argument about something trivial, such as which movie is superior. The debate becomes heated, with both of you passionately defending your viewpoints. Just as she believes you are genuinely upset, you abruptly shift gears and share a touching story from your childhood, revealing a vulnerable side of yourself. This sudden transition from conflict to vulnerability creates a powerful roller coaster of emotions, leaving her feeling both challenged and deeply connected to you. She'll remember this interaction far more vividly than a simple, uneventful conversation. The skillful manipulation of emotions, when done with respect and sensitivity, can create a powerful bond that transcends superficial attraction and fosters genuine obsession. 3. Trigger her FOMO, the fear of missing out on something exceptional. Scarcity is a fundamental driver of human behavior. People inherently desire things that are perceived as rare, limited, or difficult to obtain. This principle applies directly to attraction and relationships. If she believes that other women have access to something she doesn't, namely, your attention and affection, it will create a sense of urgency and competition, fueling her desire to be with you. You want to subtly convey that your time and attention are highly valuable, and that she is not the only one vying for them. This isn't about boasting or being arrogant, but about strategically demonstrating your desirability and highlighting the fact that you have options. Casually mention that you've been receiving a lot of attention lately, without explicitly detailing the source or nature of that attention. Let her observe, through subtle cues and indirect references, that you are sought after and admired by others. This will stir her competitive spirit and make her want to actively fight for your attention and affection. The fear of missing out, FOMO, is a well-documented psychological phenomenon. When individuals perceive that they might be losing out on something valuable or exciting, they often act irrationally to secure it. In this context, that something valuable is you. The thought of missing out on a relationship with someone as desirable and appealing as you will drive her to invest more time and effort into winning your attention. For instance, during a casual conversation, you might casually mention, "I've been getting a lot of messages from people wanting to hang out lately, but I've been pretty selective about how I spend my time." This statement implicitly communicates that others find you attractive and engaging, and that she needs to elevate her game to earn your attention and affection. The realization that she might miss out on being with someone as desirable as you will make her more eager to secure her place in your life. This strategy hinges on creating the perception of scarcity, of making her believe that your attention is a limited resource that must be earned. The subtle suggestion that she is competing with others for your affection will ignite her desire and fuel her obsession. However, it's crucial to maintain a sense of authenticity and avoid becoming overly arrogant or manipulative. The goal is to create a healthy sense of competition, not to create insecurity or resentment. 4. Control the narrative, shaping her perception of you. One of the most overlooked, yet profoundly effective, tools in cultivating obsession is the art of controlling the narrative, influencing and shaping how she perceives you. This doesn't involve overt manipulation or dishonesty, but rather a subtle and strategic approach to guiding her thoughts and expectations about who you are and what you represent in her life. You can subtly steer the direction of her thoughts by carefully crafting conversations, planting ideas, and shaping her expectations. The key is to actively curate the mental image she has of you, ensuring that it aligns with the qualities and characteristics that you want her to admire and desire. When discussing your goals, ambitions, or passions, highlight how you differ from other men. Let her see that you are not just a stereotypical player, or a man solely focused on superficial pursuits. Demonstrate your depth, your intellectual curiosity, and your commitment to something beyond yourself. This distinction will elevate you in her mind, transforming you from just another potential partner into someone truly rare and exceptional. Psychologically, individuals tend to idolize people who embody unique or rare qualities. By presenting yourself as someone who stands out from the crowd, someone who possesses a unique set of skills, passions, or values, she will begin to perceive you as irreplaceable, fueling her obsession. For example, when discussing your future aspirations, emphasize your dedication to personal growth and your desire to make a positive impact on the world. Say things like, "I'm passionate about my career, but I'm also deeply committed to volunteering and helping others in my community." This not only distinguishes you from the average person, but also aligns you with values that she may find particularly admirable and attractive. She will begin to see you as a rare find, someone who possesses both ambition and compassion, someone worth investing her time and emotions in. Controlling the narrative isn't about creating a false persona, but about strategically highlighting the most compelling aspects of your personality and values. It's about crafting a compelling story that resonates with her on a deeper level, shaping her perception of you in a way that fuels her desire and admiration. By consciously guiding her thoughts and expectations, you can transform yourself into the object of her unwavering obsession. 5. Be unpredictably consistent, the sweet spot between reliability and excitement. This seemingly paradoxical strategy is incredibly powerful in maintaining long-term interest and fostering a deep sense of connection. It involves being consistently reliable in the fundamental aspects of your character, your values, your integrity, and your respectful treatment of her, while simultaneously introducing occasional surprises and unexpected gestures to keep her emotionally engaged and stimulated. It's about creating a sense of security and trust, ensuring that she feels safe and comfortable in your presence, while also maintaining an element of excitement and anticipation, ensuring that she never becomes bored or complacent. She needs to feel confident in your reliability, knowing that you will consistently treat her with respect and care, but she also needs to feel a sense of anticipation, wondering what exciting adventure or thoughtful gesture you might surprise her with next. For example, you might consistently text her, "Good night," before bed, providing a comforting sense of routine and connection. However, one day, instead of sending a simple message, you surprise her with a heartfelt voice note, expressing your genuine appreciation for her presence in your life. This small, unexpected gesture disrupts the routine and adds a layer of emotional depth, leaving her feeling cherished and intrigued. Generally, the human brain craves both novelty and consistency. Novelty provides stimulation and excitement, preventing boredom and maintaining interest. Consistency provides security and stability, fostering trust and reducing anxiety. Striking the perfect balance between these two opposing forces is the key to keeping someone engaged and obsessed for the long haul. You're essentially giving her a reason to feel secure and comfortable in your relationship, while also providing her with a compelling reason to stay curious and invested. Consider a scenario where you typically plan low-key dates, such as movie nights at home or casual dinners at local restaurants. Then, out of the blue, you plan an adventurous day trip to a nearby scenic location or surprise her with tickets to a concert featuring one of her favorite bands. These unexpected gestures demonstrate that, while you are reliable and consistent in your affections, you are also capable of bringing excitement and novelty into her life. This balance keeps the relationship dynamic and prevents it from becoming monotonous, fostering a lasting sense of obsession. 6. Feed her subconscious desires, becoming the embodiment of her ideal. People rarely explicitly verbalize their deepest desires, particularly in the early stages of attraction and courtship. These desires often reside in the subconscious, shaping their preferences and influencing their choices without them even realizing it. If you can identify and subtly cater to her hidden wants and needs, you will transform yourself into the man who just gets her, the man who understands her on a level that transcends superficial attraction and taps into her most intimate emotions. This requires keen observation, attentive listening, and a genuine interest in understanding her true self. It goes beyond simply knowing her favorite color or her preferred type of music. It's about discerning her underlying values, her hidden aspirations, and her unmet psychological needs. If she values creativity and artistic expression, casually share your own artistic pursuits, whether it's writing poetry, playing a musical instrument, or engaging in visual arts. If she is driven by ambition and professional success, let her witness your unwavering dedication to your career and your relentless pursuit of your goals. The trick is to become a reflection of what she secretly wants but doesn't openly ask for, to embody the qualities and characteristics that she subconsciously admires and desires. Cognitive science reveals that people are more likely to become obsessed with those who fulfill their unmet psychological needs. When you mirror her subconscious desires, you stand out as someone who understands and validates her true self, making her feel seen and appreciated on a deeper level. For instance, if she is passionate about environmental causes and social justice, you might mention your involvement in local cleanup efforts, your support for sustainable living practices, or your advocacy for marginalized communities. If she is an aspiring writer or artist, you could share your favorite books or artworks, discuss how they have influenced your thinking, and offer genuine encouragement for her own creative endeavors. By aligning yourself with her deeper values and interests, you position yourself as someone who understands and supports her authentic self, fostering a stronger emotional connection and driving her towards obsession. You become more than just a romantic interest, you become a confidant, a supporter, and a kindred spirit. 7. Plant seeds of doubt and reassure, the push and pull of uncertainty. While this strategy might initially seem risky or counterintuitive, the carefully calibrated combination of subtle doubt and reassurance can create a powerful push-pull dynamic that is incredibly compelling. This isn't about deliberately making her feel insecure or anxious, but rather about leaving just enough room for her to wonder where she truly stands with you, only to then pull her back in with affirmations, compliments, and thoughtful gestures. If she starts to feel too comfortable and secure in the relationship, subtly scale back your communication, just enough to make her wonder if something has changed. Don't completely disappear, but create a slight distance that prompts her to question your level of interest. However, before she begins to overthink or become genuinely worried, reaffirm your interest with a heartfelt compliment, a thoughtful gift, or a spontaneous display of affection. This intermittent reinforcement creates a sense of uncertainty in anticipation, keeping her emotionally invested and preventing her from taking your affection for granted. The Zeigarnik effect, a well-established psychological phenomenon, demonstrates that people tend to remember unfinished tasks or unresolved emotions more vividly than completed ones. By intentionally leaving things slightly open-ended, you create mental stickiness that keeps her thinking about you long after the interaction has ended. For example, if you have been texting back and forth consistently throughout the day, you might take a slightly longer time to reply to her messages one day, just enough to make her notice the change in pattern. When she starts to wonder if something is wrong or if you've lost interest, you send her a sweet and reassuring message that reaffirms your affection and explains your temporary absence. This push-pull technique creates a dynamic where she is never entirely sure where she stands, which keeps her constantly engaged and seeking your validation. The key is to find the right balance, avoiding extremes of neglect or overbearing attention. 8. Master the art of absence, the power of strategic withdrawal. Absence doesn't just make the heart grow fonder, it can transform fondness into obsession. The key is to strategically withdraw your presence at precisely the right moment, when the emotional peak is high, leaving her craving your return. When you eventually reappear, the emotional impact is doubled, intensified by the anticipation and longing that have built up during your absence. After a particularly enjoyable date or a deeply engaging conversation, intentionally go radio silent for a day or two. This doesn't mean ignoring her completely or conveying disinterest, but rather creating a deliberate space between interactions, allowing her to fully experience the void of your absence. Research in relationship psychology has consistently shown that anticipation heightens emotions. When someone is eagerly looking forward to seeing or hearing from you, the anticipation itself becomes a powerful emotional anchor, strengthening their connection to you. The anticipation acts as a mental amplifier, magnifying the positive emotions associated with your presence. Imagine you have just shared an amazing evening together, filled with laughter, intimate conversation, and a genuine sense of connection. Instead of texting her, "good night," immediately or following up the next day, you let a couple of days pass before initiating contact. During this period, she will likely replay the evening in her mind, reliving the positive emotions and thinking about how much she enjoyed your company. She will wonder when she will hear from you again, and the anticipation will build, creating a powerful emotional longing. When you finally do reach out, the emotional impact will be significantly greater because she has been eagerly anticipating your return. This strategic absence creates a vacuum that intensifies her desire for your presence, driving her towards obsession. 9. Build an aura of exclusivity, the allure of the unattainable. People inherently desire things that are perceived as difficult to obtain or exclusive to a select few. This principle applies directly to human relationships. If she believes that access to your time, energy, or inner world is limited, she will naturally value it more. This is because scarcity increases perceived value. The trick is to be selectively available, engaging with her deeply and authentically when you are together, but always keeping a part of yourself just out of reach. When you are spending time with her, be fully present and make her feel like she is the only person that matters in that moment. Give her your undivided attention, listen attentively to her thoughts and feelings, and create a genuine connection. However, once that time is over, consciously retreat back into your own world, pursuing your own interests and maintaining your independence. Let her know that she is special to you, but not so special that you are willing to drop everything for her at a moment's notice. Demonstrate that you have your own priorities, your own passions, and your own life outside of the relationship. This subtly communicates that you are a well-rounded individual with a rich and fulfilling existence, and that your time and attention are valuable commodities. The scarcity principle, a fundamental concept in psychology, demonstrates that people tend to value things more when they perceive them as scarce or hard to come by. By positioning yourself as someone who isn't easily available or readily accessible, you increase your value in her eyes. For instance, if you are typically available to hang out whenever she suggests it, start being a bit more selective about your availability. Tell her that you have a busy week ahead with important projects, personal commitments, or other obligations. When you do make time for her, make it meaningful and special, ensuring that the time you spend together is high quality and memorable. This selective availability will make your presence feel more valuable and sought after, further intensifying her desire to be with you. 10. Embed yourself in her daily routine, weaving yourself into the fabric of her life. True obsession occurs when you have seamlessly woven yourself into someone's daily thoughts, actions, and routines. This is achieved by becoming a part of her everyday life in small but significant ways, creating subtle triggers that remind her of you throughout the day, even when you are not physically present. You want to create associations between you and the everyday elements of her life, making it so that your presence is felt even in your absence. This could involve sharing a particular song that you both enjoy, developing a unique phrase or inside joke that only the two of you share, or establishing a shared habit or ritual that you both participate in regularly. Every time she hears that song, sees that phrase, or performs that habit, her mind will instantly drift back to you, triggering a cascade of positive emotions and reinforcing her connection to you. According to behavioral conditioning, repeated associations create strong mental links. By embedding yourself into her daily routine, you effectively condition her to think of you regularly, which strengthens her emotional attachment and ultimately leads to obsession. Consider sharing a favorite song that you both enjoy listening to. Every time she hears that song on the radio or on her playlist, she will automatically think of you, associating the positive emotions of the song with your presence. Alternatively, develop a unique phrase or inside joke that only the two of you share. This creates a sense of intimacy and exclusivity, making her feel like you have a special connection that transcends ordinary relationships. These small, repeated associations create a mental shortcut that keeps you in her thoughts throughout her daily life. Over time, these seemingly insignificant triggers will strengthen her emotional connection to you, making her feel more attached and obsessed. You become an integral part of her daily experience, a constant presence in her thoughts and emotions. Conclusion: the ethical application of psychological principles. The techniques outlined above, while undeniably powerful, should be wielded with responsibility and ethical awareness. The ultimate goal isn't to manipulate or control another person's emotions, but to foster a genuine and mutually fulfilling connection. It's about understanding the deeper layers of attraction and using that knowledge to build a bond based on mutual respect, admiration, and authentic connection. When used correctly and ethically, these strategies can help you cultivate a bond so strong that she will be thinking about you constantly. You'll have effectively tapped into the psychological drivers of obsession, creating a powerful and lasting connection. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Always treat her with the respect she deserves, ensuring that your actions are driven by genuine affection and a desire to build a healthy and balanced relationship. The journey to capturing someone's unwavering attention is a continuous process of self-improvement, empathy, and genuine connection. It's about becoming the best version of yourself and offering her a relationship that is both exciting and fulfilling. Summary of key content. Mystery: pique her interest by revealing yourself gradually, leaving her wanting to know more. Emotional roller coasters: create highs and lows through playful debates and vulnerable moments to keep her engaged. FOMO: subtly show that you are desirable and have options, making her want to compete for your attention. Narrative control: shape her perception of you by highlighting your unique qualities and values. Unpredictable consistency: be reliable in your character but surprise her with unexpected gestures. Subconscious desires: fulfill her hidden wants and needs by becoming the embodiment of her ideal partner. Doubt and reassurance: use a push-pull dynamic to keep her emotionally invested. Absence: withdraw at the right moment to make her crave your presence. Exclusivity: be selectively available to increase your value in her eyes. Embedment: become a part of her daily routine through shared songs, phrases, and habits. 1. Harness the power of mystery, the allure of the unsolved puzzle. Deeper dive into curiosity: explore different types of curiosity, e.g., diversive, epistemic, specific, and how each can be triggered. Discuss the neurological basis of curiosity, including the role of dopamine and the reward system. The art of selective disclosure: provide detailed examples of how to reveal information strategically, including choosing appropriate topics, timing the revelations, and using nonverbal cues to enhance intrigue. Avoiding over-mystery: discuss the dangers of being too mysterious, which can lead to distrust or disinterest. Explain how to strike the right balance between intrigue and accessibility. Case studies: analyze fictional characters or historical figures known for their enigmatic personalities and how their mystery contributed to their allure. Practical exercises: offer practical exercises for developing a more intriguing persona, such as practicing active listening, developing unique interests, and cultivating a sense of inner confidence. The role of body language: discuss how body language, e.g., eye contact, posture, gestures, can enhance or detract from a sense of mystery. The importance of authenticity: emphasize that mystery should be a genuine reflection of one's personality, not a fabricated persona. Explain how to be authentic while still maintaining an element of intrigue. Cultural variations: discuss how perceptions of mystery and intrigue may vary across different cultures. Ethical considerations: address the ethical implications of using mystery to attract someone, emphasizing the importance of honesty and respect. Psychological research, detail the information gap theory of curiosity, and how it applies to relationships. Specific examples: how to talk about work without giving away too much detail, how to describe your weekend activities without revealing everything. Counterexamples: describe what not to do, e.g., being deliberately vague about your intentions, lying about your past. Long-term mystery: how to cultivate a sense of mystery in a long-term relationship, and why this is important. 2. Emotional roller coasters, the addictive power of highs and lows. The neuroscience of emotion, explain the neurological pathways involved in emotional processing, including the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex. Discuss the role of neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine in emotional regulation. Types of emotional intensity, explore different types of emotional intensity, including joy, sadness, anger, fear, and surprise. Explain how each emotion can be used strategically to create a roller coaster effect. Playful conflict versus destructive conflict, differentiate between healthy, playful conflict and destructive, harmful conflict. Provide examples of each and explain how to avoid crossing the line. The importance of vulnerability, explain how vulnerability can create a powerful emotional connection and foster trust. Discuss different ways to be vulnerable without oversharing or becoming emotionally dependent. Case studies, analyze relationships in popular culture that exemplify the emotional roller coaster effect, both positive and negative. Practical exercises, offer exercises for improving emotional intelligence, such as practicing empathy, managing emotional reactions, and communicating feelings effectively. The role of timing, discuss the importance of timing in creating emotional roller coasters. Explain how to gauge her emotional state and adjust your approach accordingly. The dark side of emotional manipulation, warn against using emotional roller coasters to control or manipulate someone. Emphasize the importance of respecting her boundaries and emotional well-being. Long-term effect, discuss the long-term implications of relying on emotional roller coasters, and the importance of transitioning towards a more stable emotional connection. Ethical boundaries, where is the line between creating excitement and being emotionally abusive? Provide clear guidelines. Understanding attachment styles, explore how different attachment styles, secure, anxious, avoidant, react to emotional roller coasters. The dopamine effect, elaborate on the dopamine pathways and how emotional highs and lows trigger dopamine release. The risk of burnout, explain how constantly creating emotional roller coasters can be draining and unsustainable. 3. Trigger her FOMO, the fear of missing out on something exceptional. The psychology of scarcity, delve into the psychological principles behind the scarcity effect, including loss aversion and the endowment effect. Explain how these principles can be applied to attraction. Subtle demonstrations of desirability, provide a wider range of examples of how to subtly demonstrate your desirability without being boastful or arrogant. This could include mentioning social events you've been invited to, showcasing your talents and skills, or receiving compliments from others. The art of being selective, explain how to be selectively available without coming across as aloof or uninterested. Emphasize the importance of communicating your boundaries clearly and respectfully. Case studies, analyze marketing campaigns that effectively use the fear of missing out to drive consumer behavior. Practical exercises, offer exercises for developing a more confident and attractive persona, such as setting personal goals, pursuing hobbies and interests, and cultivating a strong social network. The importance of self-worth, emphasize that true desirability comes from within. Explain how to cultivate self-worth and confidence, which will naturally make you more attractive to others. The dangers of playing games, warn against using FOMO to manipulate or control someone. Emphasize the importance of being genuine and authentic in your interactions. Evolutionary perspective, explore the evolutionary roots of FOMO and its connection to social status and mate selection. Social media influence, analyze how social media amplifies FOMO and its impact on relationships. Ethical considerations, how to trigger FOMO without making her feel insecure or inadequate. Long-term effect, how relying solely on FOMO can be unsustainable and damage the relationship in the long run. Building genuine scarcity, how to develop qualities that genuinely make you scarce, such as unique skills or a busy schedule. Avoiding arrogance, how to convey desirability without coming across as arrogant or conceited. 4. Control the narrative, shaping her perception of you. The power of storytelling, explore the power of storytelling in shaping perceptions and influencing emotions. Discuss different storytelling techniques, such as using vivid language, creating compelling characters, and building suspense. Crafting your personal brand, explain how to craft a personal brand that accurately reflects your values, passions, and goals. This could involve identifying your unique selling proposition, USP, defining your target audience, and creating a consistent message across all platforms. Strategic conversation starters. Provide a range of strategic conversation starters that allow you to subtly steer the conversation in a direction that highlights your positive attributes. Case studies. Analyze how politicians, celebrities, and business leaders use narrative control to shape their public image. Practical exercises. Offer exercises for improving your communication skills, such as practicing active listening, articulating your thoughts clearly, and using persuasive language. The importance of authenticity. Emphasize that narrative control should be used to present an accurate and compelling version of yourself, not to create a false persona. The dangers of misrepresentation. Warn against misrepresenting yourself or exaggerating your accomplishments. Explain how dishonesty can damage trust and ultimately undermine your efforts. The impact of first impressions. Detail how first impressions shape the narrative and how to make a strong positive first impression. Body language and narrative, how nonverbal cues reinforce the narrative you are trying to create. Managing social media, how to use social media to control the narrative and project the desired image. The importance of consistency, why it is crucial to maintain a consistent narrative across all interactions. Adaptability, how to adapt the narrative to different audiences and situations. Ethical narrative control, how to control the narrative without being manipulative or dishonest. 5. Be unpredictably consistent, the sweet spot between reliability and excitement. The psychology of routine. Discuss the psychological benefits of routine and predictability, including reducing stress, increasing feelings of security, and fostering a sense of control. The psychology of novelty. Explore the psychological benefits of novelty in surprise, including stimulating the brain, enhancing creativity, and increasing feelings of excitement. Balancing act. Provide specific examples of how to balance routine and novelty in a relationship. This could include establishing regular date nights while also planning spontaneous adventures, or maintaining consistent communication while also surprising her with unexpected gifts or gestures. Case studies. Analyze long-lasting relationships that exemplify the balance between reliability and excitement. Practical exercises. Offer exercises for identifying her preferences for routine and novelty, and for developing creative ways to incorporate both into the relationship. The role of communication. Emphasize the importance of open and honest communication about each other's needs and desires. Avoiding predictability. Warn against becoming too predictable or routine, which can lead to boredom and complacency. Understanding love languages. Learn about different love languages and how to express consistency and unpredictability within those frameworks. Long-term strategies. Develop long-term strategies for maintaining the balance between routine and novelty over the course of a relationship. Personal growth. How personal growth and development can contribute to both consistency and unpredictability. Relationship stage. How the balance between predictability and novelty should shift depending on the stage of the relationship. Practical application, daily routines, date nights, and communication styles. Understanding the surprise. When is it best to surprise and when should you inform? 6. Feed her subconscious desires, becoming the embodiment of her ideal. The power of observation. Emphasize the importance of keen observation and active listening in identifying her subconscious desires. Decoding her values. Explain how to decode her underlying values by paying attention to her words, actions, and emotional responses. Mirroring without mimicking. Discuss the art of mirroring her values and interests without simply mimicking her. Emphasize the importance of authenticity and genuine connection. Case studies. Analyze fictional characters or real-life couples who exemplify the concept of fulfilling subconscious desires. Practical exercises. Offer exercises for improving your empathy and emotional intelligence, such as practicing perspective taking and paying attention to nonverbal cues. The importance of self-awareness. Emphasize that you must first understand your own values and desires before you can effectively understand hers. The dangers of idealization. Warn against idealizing her or trying to become someone you are not. Explain how authenticity is key to building a genuine connection. Attachment theory. How childhood attachment patterns influence subconscious desires in relationships. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. How to identify which needs are most important to her based on Maslow's hierarchy. Ethical considerations. Is it ethical to try to embody someone's ideal partner? How to avoid being manipulative. Understanding her dreams. Paying attention to her dreams and aspirations as clues to her subconscious desires. Long term.